now, second time around. Yeah. I've been experienced that before. Now, dito na naman kami sa boat.
We are a bit like that.
So, let's find it out. Diba? Oh, diba? So pretty and beautiful. My husband. Nakuha pala siyang ticket. So we've been there before the last time. This time, trying to experience another here, the RiverCruise. So that's why my husband getting our ticket for another sightseeing here. Oh, look at that! Oh no, it's so pretty, diba?
Thames for the first ever cruise.
So
do you? Yeah, cruising, do you? Or around London, like a London bird, do you? Oh, look at, show them everyone, look, down on the river. Oh my God. Oh, going on the big cruise.
This is the one you told me. It's a big surprise, did you?
Yes, big surprise. Going on the cruise, do you?
All right.
Yes, you do.
Oh dear, you're such a lucky.
I want you to see everything. The whole.
So dyan kami, pupunta kami dyan. There's too much way of pack of people in here. Right, we're here. So, yeah. Laag-laag na. Diba?
Hey, mate.
This is the one I see cruises join this queue.
We're going to get on there. That looks absolutely round. That looks round.
The top, yeah, for sure. Hopefully there should be some seats console. There is a bar.
So, dyan kami. City Cruises. Diba? My God, murag sapa.
That was an overwhelming response.
Murag sapa.
Can you hear me okay in the back, folks? So near the Lion's Mouse, the river is my overflow is banks. And there's an old saying to help you remember this, and see if you can finish it with me. They say down to our next stop, Tower Peak. And I check, is everybody enjoying the live commentary so far? Savoy Hotel. Will cost you around £1,000 a night to stay at the Savoy Hotel. If you stay there New Year's Eve, it will cost you up to £20,000.
Really? £1,000 in a night?
Yeah. And we all pass underneath
Jesus
next
Christ.
at the Waterloo Road Bridge, also known as the Ladies' Bridge. It was built by a predominantly female workforce during the Second World War.
I don't want to stay there.
While the men were away fighting, the ladies,
Such-
they did what you do best. They went out shopping. And they bought the most expensive stone, a Portland
I would love to
stone.
go shopping.
You'll see how clean the face of the bridge is here compared to the underneath. Now Portland stone, it has self-cleaning or self-cleansing properties. So when it rains here in London, the rain, it will wash away the dirt on the side of the bridge.
Really?
Buckingham Palace, which we know some of you have been to see today.
Sapa.
St Paul's Cathedral and Tower Bridge, we'll see shortly, are also built out of this self-cleaning Portland stone. So well done to the ladies. As we pass through the Waterloo Road Bridge, on the right-hand side of the boat, just behind the trees there, they're building with the billboards on the front. That is our national theatre. Let's get the bridge up for you. Give them a wave up there, folks. Now generally people do wave back. Unless they're Londoners, very miserable people. True that. As we do pass. Try again on the other side, hopefully they're more happy to see us. Give him a wave up there, folks. The captain will try a little bit harder. There we go. Give him a wave as we do past. He's happy to see us. Now, as we clear the bridge on the right, now we're in the South Bank Centre, and that's the Royal Festival Hall, put here to celebrate the Festival of Britain in 1951. Many famous people have performed here. Frank Sinatra, Whitney Houston, Pavarotti, Amy Winehouse, the list, it does go on. You'll see lots of people over here on the right. You can walk all the way down the south bank of the Thames, from where we picked you up to where we're going to drop you off. On a beautiful day like today, and there's bars, restaurants, live entertainment to see on the south bank of the Thames. On top of the overground, it runs above us, the Northern and Bakerloo line, the underground, directly underneath the boat. You will see the Jubilee, the Hungerford footbridges either side, very busy walkways from one side, such as the London Fashion. And you will see one of the most famous boats out here on the Thames, also coming up on the left. And that's the black and white St. Catherine. It's got the black canopy on the top. That is the former Queen's Royal Barge. And right up until the early 1960s, any meetings that needed to be conducted, that have been done out here on the Thames, on the St. Catherine you see now on the left-hand side. She's now a permanent restaurant at Temple Development Projects. As the population in London has grown from 1 to nearly 10 million people, we've needed a new sewer system. It's a £5 billion project here on the River Thames. And the sewer system, it will sit just next to the current one. When the current one fills up, it will spill out into the new one, creating thousands of new jobs out here on the Thames, many of them underneath the boat. If you look behind the tideway site on the left, you will see another red brick building, and that is Zion's College, home to many famous books. Queen Victoria's first diaries are inside, and the first Bible to be written using the capstan. Now you can feel the captain, he's brought the boat out to the middle of the River Thames here. Currently the tide in London, around about 7.2 metres.
Is that really the one?
If we was to continue straight lines mains, then we will go down the drains. And if the lines are well and truly ducked, then London is well and truly flooded. Children of God. And we now leave the city of Westminster and we enter the city of London. Temple Arch on the left here, just to the back of the ship, and that's the boundary point between the two. The archway you'll see there on the left, and that's ours. It goes out to sea for slightly longer, allows all of the across it. I'm sure you'll be okay. And if you do walk across the bridge here, and you come over to the right hand side, and you will see a white round building with a thatched roof. That is Shakespeare's. Do we have any modern art fans on board today? Any modern art fans on board? A couple people? If you look to the right hand side here, on the south bank of the visit the Tower of London for as little as £1. Very little money indeed. On selected days across the month, you can photo opportunity.
We're now in the Tower Bridge.
So no need to stand up, folks. We've done this trip once or twice before. And we take you closer to the bridge and we turn the boat around. Now Tower Bridge, the most photographed bridge in the world. It opened in 1894. That makes the bridge 128 years old. The middle part of the bridge combines suspension and bascule. Bascule, that's a French verb for seesaw. So it gives you an idea of how the middle part of the bridge, it lifts up into two, allows big ships in and out of this stretch of the River Thames. Now if anybody on board has got a boat big enough, you can lift Tower Bridge free of charge. You let the captain of the bridge know 24 hours in advance and they will lift Tower Bridge for you. There's only one day of the year the Tower Bridge will not open. Does anybody know which day of the year that is? It's not Christmas Day. It's not the Queen's birthday. It's the day of the London Marathon, as this is part of the route through the city. I know not that exciting, folks.
This is part of the film, isn't it? London Bridge.
for
That's
$2
falling.
million. Now standing in Lake Havasu, the Arizona Desert.
Never
A previous
fall.
London bridge, it was taken down to stop the Great Fire in London from spreading from the north of the river on the left to the south of the river on the right. If you look in between the buildings here on the left, you will see a golden flame, and that is the monument
Where's that
put
one?
here to commemorate those lost during the Great Fire of London. Continuing to the left, you will see some of London's new builds. The cheese grater, the walkie-talkie, the Gurley. Don't ask me to come up with these names, I've got no idea. But if you look to the roof of the walkie-talkie building there, and you will see lots of people up there, and there is a sky garden. Has anybody on board been to the sky garden? What do you think of it up there, folks? Very good, very nice indeed. It's a bar and a restaurant. Now, I'll give you a tip if you haven't been. The viewing platform at the Sky Garden is free of charge. You just go online and you book your tickets. It's open to all ages. The viewing platform up there in the Sky Garden, free of charge. Little tip for you.
Walkie-talkie.
Now on the right hand side, patrolling the River Thames, and you will see the oldest uniformed force in the world. That's the Metropolitan River Police. They've been patrolling the banks of the Thames since the early 1800s. Also on the right, permanently moored here on her anchor chains, you will see the HMS Elf. Of your appreciation, at the exit gate, in the old traditional way, and we put out our silver.
And she last saw action throughout the Korean campaign. That is where she last fired her guns in anger. There are 6 guns at the front and there are 6 at the back, each of which can fire a 100-weight shell, 14 land miles. A very powerful ship. Permanently moored in London today, an extension now on the Imperial War Museum. And the building belongs to the Queen. This is Her Majesty's Customs and Excise, which means that anything that's confiscated from you at our airports, like if you bring in too much alcohol, too many cigarettes or any drugs, they are taken to that building. And they are put into a large incinerator, a big fire, and disposed of, apparently. That's what they tell us. I've lived in London for 30 years. I've never seen a puff of smoke come out of those chimneys. But I do know someone who works in that building, and he's a good friend of mine, who tells me the Christmas parties are phenomenal. It's probably still going on now. And we have the tallest building in Western Europe, up to the left, the Shard of Glass. It stands at over 1,000 feet high. And inside the Shard, a 6-star hotel. Bars, restaurants and offices, apartments, designed by an Italian architect. Renzo Piano, his name. He designed the Shard. And they gave him the penthouse apartment for designing that building, which he then sold on 2 years later for £48 million. This bridge is London Bridge, the 5th London bridge to stand here in 2,000 years. The first one was wooden, built by the Romans, and it burnt down. And as I'm sure you know from the nursery rhyme, the song, most of the others fell down. All but one, the 4th London Bridge. It's in America today, sinking into the riverbed in the 70s. We took it down and we sold it to a businessman. For the children, the boys and girls, look in the dock, a pirate ship, a working replica of Francis Drake's Golden Hind. He was the first Englishman to sail a ship around the world. And that was one for the children. One for the adults now is on the right-hand side. You may see some semi-naked people roaming around. Because ladies and gentlemen, inside that glass box a health and relaxation spa. They thought that they were clever by putting it under a bridge so nobody could see them. They thought that they were clever by putting in one-way glass so nobody could see them. Very stupidly, they put it in the wrong way around. We can see them, they can't see us. And believe me, gentlemen, some days are better than others. Some days are harassing under now. They say that it's London's least used bridge, built to take some of the congestion away from London Bridge, but built so well hidden in the back streets and alleys of London, no one can really find it to use it. Professional drivers, mainly vans, the Golden Cross, St Paul's Cathedral. £75,000 today, then kiss your husband or your wife. Any single ladies, you can come and kiss me. And any single gentleman, you can come and kiss the captain. He's very open-minded.
This is the one on. Another more 6 years to go.
And we exit the bridge on the right-hand side. Members of Parliament gained their early education before going on to Oxford or Cambridge universities. That building today, like much of the other older buildings in London, is owned by a bank. JP Morgan, the very wealthy American bank, own that building today. And the red brick building on the left, a refrigeration warehouse years ago, taken over by Oxo, the gravy company. And that's where they made that famous stock cube. On top of the building, where the glass canopy is, you'll find a restaurant, the Harvey Nichols Oxo Tower restaurant, said to be one of the top 10 restaurants in London. And I've been up there, very nice, quite expensive, as I'm sure you can imagine, but you do get great views over London from the top. And I recommend it, really, really nice. On the right hand side, livery hall now. It's a drinking club for retired sea captains. And to become a member of that club, you must have been the captain of a multi-storey car park. And it isn't. It's actually London's Royal National Theatre. But you wouldn't think so to look at it. Voted year after year as the ugliest building in London. And I'm sure that you'll agree. But you know, and it was given to us from a thankful Egyptian government for the victory over Napoleon and the French at the Battle of the River Nile. There is a twin, and so each capsule, you can hire out a glass capsule on the wheel for £1,000. People even get married on there, ladies and gentlemen. If you get all the way up there to the top, you get down on one knee, you ask them to marry you, and they say no, is 15 minutes all the way back down with 23 people staring at you. So you do need to make sure they're going to say yes. Or be safe and don't do it. The War Memorial on the right hand side, that's a shrine of